Hi friends, so today we are going to see the fried liver attack. So game start with e4, black responds with e5. The idea of this move, both side wants to capture the center and wants to open up the diagonal for their bishop development. So after this e4 e5 move, white attack the pawn at e5. Black defends his pawn with knight c6. White developed the light square bishop on c4, and now after this move the fried liver attack is only possible when queen stop guiding the g5 square. Okay, at this position queen is controlling over g5 square, so that white can't move his knight on g5 square, so fried liver attack is not possible. So fried liver attack is only possible if queen stop guiding g5 square. So after white places knight on f3, if black move his knight to f6, this will stop the control of queen over g5 square. And now after this knight to f6, which is a bad move by black, this allowed white to do a fried liver attack. So now the idea of fried liver attack is very simple. White want to create pressure on f7 square with his knight and light square bishop. If black plays some random move like a6, move his pawn to a6, white will simply capture the pawn of f7 and fork queen and rook simultaneously. And black king can't take this knight because this is protected with light square bishop. And over here black will move his queen and white will take the rook, and white in material advantage. So this is one variation. Second variation is that if white if black play d5, so black will play d5, and after this move white will capture it with his pawn. And now black may thinks that black will capture this pawn, and if white take the knight, black will simply take the light square bishop. So if black will take this pawn, white light square bishop will take the knight, and black will capture the light square bishop and also develop his queen. So with this idea in mind, black will take the pawn at d5. Now after this we have entered the typical fried liver attack condition. Now instead of taking the knight, white will sacrifice his knight. So white sacrifice the knight, and by playing f7, forking the queen and rook, and black king take the knight, because if black not take the knight or move his queen, white will win the rook and white will be in material advantage. So black king has to take this knight, and after this we will bring our queen giving check, and if king moves to g8, then white will win this game within few moves. White will give check by taking the knight at d5, and only way to stop this check is to take this light square bishop with queen, and white will win this queen and again will give check. Then again black has to bring his light square bishop, and we will take that also, and this is totally a checkmate. So this is what variation of fried liver attack. So in fried liver attack, usually the king is trapped with his own pieces, and we will deliver the check with light square bishop. Then we will bring our queen, and this is a checkmate. So this is what fried liver attack. So how black can counter this fried liver attack, we are going to see. So at this particular position, when white take the pawn at d5, instead of taking d5 pawn of white with knight, we have to place our knight on d4. So we will place our knight on d4. Now white will think that he can push the pawn at d5 to d6, and again create some pressure on f7 pawn. So with this idea, white will push his pawn, and we have to take this pawn with our queen. So it may look foolish, because if we take this pawn with our queen, then knight will come on f7, forking the queen and rook. But there is a strategy behind this move. So let us see that. So we will take this pawn, we will allow white to place his knight on f7, forking the queen and rook, and after this move we will simply move our queen to d6. White may think that we are going to attack his bishop, and white will take the rook, which is a more valuable piece. So if white take the rook, we will not attack the bishop of white, we will attack g2 pawn. So after this move, the only way to save the rook is to move the rook on f1. Now the rook of white is in attack. The only way to save this rook is to move it near the king, that is on f1. So white will place his rook on f1, and over here we will give again check to white king. And if white try to save this check with his light square bishop, then we will simply move our knight to f3, and this is checkmate. King is already surrounded with all of his pieces, and there is no escaping route for this king. So by placing our queen to g2, we have made white move his rook to f1 square to save his rook, and by moving this we have made white king surrounded with his own pieces. So there is no skipping square for white king. We will give check, and if he save his king with light square bishop, this is checkmate with our knight on f3. And if instead of saving with light square bishop, if he bring his queen, we will take the queen with our knight, and we are in material advantage. And after this move we can take the pawn at c2, and also we are going to bring our knight and light square bishop and dark square bishop and attacking the king. So clearly we are in very good position. So this is how black should counter fried liver attack. So if you think that you have learned something from this video, consider subscribing our channel. Thank you.